The referendum heating up, the campaigns are underway. There is one for yes, of course, we've seen a little bit of that, but the no campaign, it's out there and it's really now starting to hit its straps. Now, you think you might know about The Voice? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of detail out there in the real world that hasn't even permeated. Tonight I want to share exclusively with you the first ad from the No campaign run by Fair Australia. Have a look.
You are Murking Mangili, Natnyang Yudi, Jacinta Nambajimba Price. I was born in Darwin in the Northern Territory. I have crocodile dreaming from the top end, Irkapai, Chikapanga, but I grew up in Alice Springs. My family are Warlpiri, predominantly from the community of Yuendamu, where my mum's from. My dad is from Newcastle, New South Wales. He's a white fella, and it's interesting growing up in a household with two different cultures, but recognising what we have in common was always really important for us as a family. And while I might be growing up with Warlpiri culture and modern Australian culture, I belong to this world, just like all other human beings belong to this world, like all other Australians belong to Australia. They're the values that I was brought up with. For me and Colin, as husband and wife, and our boys, and being a blended family, you know, we're a family. Yeah, we come from two different backgrounds, but ultimately it's love that's brought us together, that's ensured that we've been able to bring our boys up in a household that's cared for them, that's loved them. They are now young men creating their own lives, and we couldn't be any prouder than what we are as parents.
Being a family is all about support. And as a family, we tolerate so much. You know, our family tolerates abuse. As a husband, I have to tolerate people abusing my wife because she's a conservative politician. But I will not argue and debate her lived experience, which she's seen and heard with her own ears and eyes. I can't argue that. You've got to live and walk and talk the talk.
Growing up in a place like Alice Springs, a lot of my family experienced violence, experienced substance abuse, alcoholism and those sorts of things. I spent a lot of time in the town camps where my family lived, and I saw violence firsthand, and I often had to rescue young family members throughout my life, you know, to help put them in better situations or comfort them myself. And I just got to a point in my life where I said, I don't want to see any more suffering. I don't want to see kids suffering in an environment like that. I don't want to see women suffering or men suffering in that sort of environment. So I was very much encouraged by my community to throw my hat in the ring to have a go on Alice Springs Town Council. The wonderful part about that was actually being sworn in by my own mother, who was Minister for Local Government at the time, and of the understanding that it doesn't matter what background you come from. As a human being, if you have the drive and the passion, you can become what it is that you want to become, and this country certainly provides that opportunity for you. My mother could be born under a tree if her first language is not English, and she can grow up to become a Minister of the Crown. Well, then I could certainly step up and be a councillor in my community, that's for sure. I'm obliged to fight for some of our most vulnerable people, those that are in remote communities, those whose first language is not English. That is what I have done, and that is what I will continue to do to improve the lives of some of our most marginalised Australians. That's what keeps me going. What's important to me is that we don't divide ourselves along the lines of race in this country. I don't want to see my family divided along the lines of race, because we are a family of human beings, and that's the bottom line.
Our family is a blended thing. Our family is what Australia is. And a line going through my family, I won't stand for that. I won't stand for that.
Later this year, politicians will be asking us to vote on a major change to our constitution. They want to establish a so-called voice to Parliament. This is a really big deal. The Constitution is the rule book for governing the country. and they want the rules to change. This is a massive change, and it will mean that some Australians are treated differently based on the colour of their skin. I'll be voting no, because this will not unite us, this will divide us.